feeling all right today.
I'm all right.
Yeah,
great.
Just all right.
Getting there.
100%.
You're always 100%.
Always.
Like, when are you ever at less than 100%?
Sometimes I get hungover. Feel kind of pukey.
But then you're like 100% hungover. Like, you go into that hangover, like, you embrace it.
Oh, it's 0 or 100.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Do you have a standard hangover regimen? You must have a process worked out at this point, right?
I think I've grown up because in college it was like every morning, like every Saturday and Sunday morning, and probably something during the week. It's just like violent vomiting all morning. Like I never threw up at night, but probably in college I threw up probably 300 to 400 times. I'm just ballparking.
Oh, wow.
And
how do you still
have an esophagus?
I don't know.
It's good for everything.
Yeah, and I can't puke quietly.
That's
like
where that rasp comes from.
Maybe, yeah. I can't puke quietly, so like my neighbors always hated me because every fucking weekend morning is like, just like fucking horrible. You can ask my dad about this. We've
really
shared
got
some hotel rooms before, and I've just puked a lot.
You really got to throw the diaphragm into it for the neighbors to hear it through the walls. That's
and I try to do it quietly, and I can't do it. So, but lately, I mean, I'll maybe throw up once or twice a year from drinking. I think I'm getting more responsible from it. I puked.
Or you just
respectable.
Better at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
by comparison.
I puked in Japan earlier this year about 10 minutes before I interviewed Suda 51. I had to jump out of a taxi cab and go puke in a Japanese mall toilet and then run in and interview Suda 51 about wrestling immediately afterwards.
Was it a squat toilet?
No, it was just a normal person toilet.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to like bail out of the taxi cab until...
How were you in a position to be getting sick with an interview on the docket?
This was like a fun side interview thing that I was on for. I wasn't like on for the serious stuff. I just had to like, I knew Suda liked wrestling, and we were going to do like a side fun project thing. And so it wasn't a serious thing.
But still, you knew the interview was looming.
I think it was something we just kind of slapped together. This wasn't like we had a serious interview that Tim at Game Informer did with them, and that was the serious thing. It's like, oh, if you got some time, I'll ask you some questions about Japanese wrestling. And so yeah, me and Tim went out to karaoke the night before in Japan. And
okay, so you were not still drunk.
Oh no! I was just super hungover.
I see.
But yeah, it was a karaoke thing where they just keep bringing in a ton of beer.
Oh sure, no,
and there's no windows or clocks.
I've been
before
there.
You know it, it's 6 a.m.
And there's no last call in Japan, so it just keeps coming and coming.
And then you're drunk and confused as to why you all have to pay $80.
$80 for a night of karaoke and drinking is pretty damn good.
Maybe I don't remember. I just remember us all being really drunk and confused, and it sounding like it was way more than it should have been. And then, puking. So,
but yes, Drew, the bars in Japan do not have a cutoff. They can serve alcohol all night long.
I am doomed.
Which combined with the fact the Japanese train lines, at least in Tokyo, shut down like
around midnight
or something.
Yeah,
it's a very dangerous combination.
Taxis double their rates after the trains.
Well, that's why you got to push through to the other side, and then just wait till they're open again.
Okay. I have done that exact thing before. Yeah. But I was not staying in Tokyo, so I was literally stranded in the city until 6 a.m.
I think that's why, like, salaryman T-shirts out of vending machines, like, why that exists. Because they would be out all night drinking, singing karaoke, and then have to go to work the next day.
You just keep shirts in your desk, like Don Draper or whatever, and then you can just change at work.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. Slick your hair back. There's a thing of pomade in the other drawer.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is.
You don't know what pomade is?
It's hair
pomade.
Pomade.
Oh, it's like gel or something.
Pomade seems like a thing from your place.
It's like what does that mean?
It's a greasy
something that people in the Midwest would know about.
Yeah,
I don't talk to people about crap you put in your hair. I don't put anything in my hair.
It's like an old school manly man, like slick your hair back type thing.
Not like a greaser type stuff. Like, I don't know what you think Kansas is.
I don't know. Weren't you rolling
Not just greasers, but like
isn't that where Grease took place?
Older dudes.
Oh yeah, also yes.
Yeah. Grease took place in Topeka, shot on location. Yeah.
I mean, you rolled pack of cigarettes up in your shirt sleeve, right?
No, I've never smoked.
You don't have to smoke to roll a pack of cigarettes.
It's true.
Sleeve.
It's true.
It does look pretty cool.
It's a look that's coming back.
Oh yeah,
be okay with that.
I've never been the get sick the day after type.
I've never get sick the night of. Well, I have, but
I don't understand like throwing up with the day after when you're hungover.
Were you a puke and rally guy? I used to puke and rally in college. Yeah.
I did that a few times.
Oh God,
it's dark.
I've never done that, and I've never understood how anybody could.
Well, because you feel better immediately.
A surge of adrenaline when you,
but that's also my cue to like cut and run. It's like I have ruined myself for the night. I have to go.
The couple of times that it happened to me, we had gone. We had decided after many hours of drinking that we needed to go to a Krispy Kreme and get donuts. So we would get a dozen donuts or whatever we would get, and then get back to the house and just start eating these donuts. And then at some point, that, I mean, it's a bad idea, and at some point your body realizes that and takes care of the problem.
So were you still continuing to drink during the donut eating?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you drinking? I think that's important.
Just like beers and just shots and just like a screwdriver. I drink a fair amount of numbers, so screwdriver tends to be my drink of choice. But who knows? At that point, we were just all over the place. Just it could have been Jägermeister for all I know.
Ugh.
Who knows? And it became like the throwing up part of it became part of the group thing that night anyway, and maybe a couple nights around it. That summer was a real dark summer.
All right, everybody, one.
Where, well, yeah, it was like it's like one person throws up and the other goes, yeah, oh no, and then it's like you got 4 people out on the lawn throwing up, and then you're like, all right, cool, let's start drinking again, because at that point it's like the 4 of you are standing around. Like,
is that similar to the suggestive power of yawning? You see somebody yawn, and you're more likely to yawn.
Exactly.
You see the Technicolor yawn, and then
have you never thrown up because you saw someone throw up?
No.
Okay, I have.
I
mean, I stone cold sober as a child. Like that would.
I cannot remember.
I did not like watching people throw up.
I can't remember a time in my life where I ever saw anybody else throw up.
Really?
In person.
That's
I
fun.
cannot
Did you go
remember.
to college?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was in my fair share of situations where that would happen, but
And you didn't see anyone vomit ever. That's all you do in college.
I think most people were a little more discreet than to just do it out in public.
Did you go to keggers?
Yeah.
Outside, like where there's like 5 kegs out on the lawn and people aren't just puking and peeing everywhere?
Not really, no.
Man, you got to come to Kansas. Come with me and Danny O'Dwyer.
Yeah, I definitely leaned my face against a back fence and threw up once or twice in my day.
Oh, yeah.
Like through a chain link?
No, like a wooden fence. Way worse.
I mean, it was certainly possible that I was too drunk to notice it happening in a lot of cases.
Okay.
But
I think a shining moment for me was a party bus, and I'm typically one
always.
to where...
I mean, party buses are always good ideas. The people that own them and drive them are always cool and always sober. It's really great.
Yeah.
They're really smart about, like, driving their own party bus and not partaking in the party that's happening. Real safe.
This is a college thing, and me and my buddy Mike, being the cool kids on the bus, we're at the very back of the bus, because that's where, if you're going to be cool, you hang out in the back by the keg.
That's right.
And it's just like an old, converted school bus. And I'm usually very considerate when I need to puke about, like, I will make a point of trying to get to a toilet or, in lieu of that, someplace where it's just not going to be like, somebody doesn't have to clean up, maybe a yard or out in an alley or something.
That is very noble of you.
I know, but I was in a moving automobile, and so I was in the back seat, and I started puking in the back left corner of the bus. At the same time, my friend Mike was really drunk, and he was peeing in the back right corner of the bus. And so anyone who came back to try to fill up their cup was immediately just like, oh, God, and they turned around because, like, one dude's puking, one dude's peeing. Oh, and then my friend Mike, when the driver took a break, tried to steal the party bus and drove it a couple blocks before even his drunk brain was like, this is a terrible idea.
Oh, yeah.
I have pictures of him driving the bus.
what kind of bus are we talking?
It's like a school bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the type of thing you could hose out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and speaking of which, I don't know if this is a fun game if you guys ever get the chance. If you ever see a party bus coming around, like I'm talking now, and I don't know if they do them in San Francisco much, just get on. Like, if you're at a bar and people are like, hey, the bus is here or whatever, just get on, make friends. Like, it's always a birthday party, so just find out, like, talk to people at the bar and be like, oh, hey, what are you guys here for? And be like, it's Chris's 30th or whatever. And then if you get on the bus, if someone asks you, like, hey, what are you doing here? Just be like, oh, yeah, I'm a friend of Chris's or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get on, you meet friends, and you get drunk with them until the point that they're okay with you telling them, like, I don't know any of you guys. Like, good one.
Awesome.
And then you just wind up fucking somewhere 30 miles away, and you got a bunch of new friends, and you got to figure out how to get home.
You're really walking the razor's edge with that one. Like, you've got to be a certain kind of gregarious to not just come off as the creepy guy who crashed the bus.
I've done that with dates. Like, first dates, I've been like, hey, let's just jump on this bus.
Well, then it's kind of a fun adventure.
Yeah.
At that point, you're in it together, and you can both.
I'm trying to think. Like the last time I was on a party bus, it was like around the SantaCon thing, and I decided that there was a couple years there where I decided to get in on that. And the one year that we did it in San Francisco, we were, like normally like SantaCon in San Francisco is a bunch of people like walking, and then like the people I was with were on another level with that shit. So they were like, no, we got a bus. We're going to go around and do a bunch of weird shit. And I'm like, all right, great. No, cool. Let's go. And then ended up at the Exploratorium and all this other just weird. And it turned out like a bunch of them were like also like real big Burning Man types. And they had a lot of weird drugs on the bus that didn't have names yet.
That doesn't sound
It was just like, oh yeah, this research chemical that I'm into. It's just like,
when the names of the drugs are just like alphanumeric combinations.
Like, oh, it's 2CT7. It's like,
right.
Oh, okay, yeah, great.
No. Oh, the clinical designation.
Oh, yeah, no, that's good stuff.
That sounds terrible.
There was no one forcing you to do a bunch of weird drugs.
But I would just be afraid to even drink my beer because I figured somebody put a syringe in it and put a bunch of crazy hallucinogenics or something.
That's a reasonable fear, but that did not happen.
Okay, good.
But I grew up. I grew up with a fear like that. That's how I was going to be. Like someone was going to turn me into a drug addict. I had a fear because this is how prevalent the like just say no, like scary 80s don't do drugs shit was. Dare and everything. Like I was convinced that some junkie was going to hold me down and shoot me full of heroin to turn me into a smackhead so that I would have to buy it from him.
That's
like
probably
that was how they networked. That was how they they made money.
To be fair, that's probably more of a legitimate fear in San Francisco and its surrounding areas than where I grew up.
But where I grew up is not.
I guess you were like in the suburbs or something.
Exactly.
Right? You weren't here.
I'm not here.
Okay. All right. Did that ever happen?
It never happened.
No,
thankfully,
not once?
Not once. I didn't hear of it happening to anyone else. I didn't even hear of anyone like with like a band roll-on thing full of LSD running around, waving it at kids, or rubbing it on kids or anything. That was the other thing. It was like, oh, they're gonna get kids whacked out on the acid, and it was just that never happened either.
From what I've seen, my friends that were always into drugs, like no one was ever pushy. Like all my friends in college smoked pot, and I didn't, and so I was constantly surrounded by it. And no one's like, "Come on, you fucking pussy, you fucking smoke this."
So I have known people that have been very much that way about weed specifically.
That like judge you for not smoking.
Yeah, I had a roommate that was very much like, "Come on, man, no, you need to," and he was just like very much wanted me to partake. Which he would say over and over again. It's like, no, well, what if you just ate it? What if you just ate it? Well, what if you just did this? What if you... And like, fucking no, God damn it.
Why do they give a shit? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's kind of the same way with drinking. I guess you have a big group of friends that are all drinking, which is more of a normal thing to do. And if somebody's just not drinking at all, that seems weird. But like, I've never been like, oh, come on, what are you doing? Get drunk. Like... I don't really get that.
Yeah. I guess I've had people do that to me too. It's just that I'm a little more likely to go, all right, fine, I'll have a fucking drink.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. Yeah, but generally speaking, I have not been held down and forced to do drugs. Yet, thankfully. It's a fear that I still wake up with.
Walk the mean streets every day.
Every day.
You never know what could happen.
Every day.
It's jungle out there.
It's wild.
Yep. We, on the other hand, around here, high on video games.
That's right. The ultimate high.
Every day.
Yes.
There's no greater meaning in life.
I fucking hold people down and force video games on them every goddamn day, and they thank me for it.
I am putting Blu-ray discs in a blender, and
I know I have a friend who has a key that gives me access to the city's water supply, and I am throwing PlayStation 2 games in there at an alarming rate.
I'm putting liquefied Blu-ray discs in a syringe and just running around.
That's right.